There comes a night when you simply keep walking until you don't. One more step, then another, until one of them never arrives. The sea keeps breathing, the wind keeps moving, the lighthouse keeps turning. Nothing asks anything of you. The light drifts across the water, then fades into the dark. A few moments later, it finds the sea again. Then the rocks, then the narrow path beneath your feet. You don't follow it, you simply watch. Every time the light returns, the night feels a little more familiar. You listen to the waves, not one wave, all of them. Each one arriving without trying to become the last. The wind brushes past your face, then disappears into the darkness behind you. Another wave, another breath, another slow turn of the light. Without realizing it, your breathing begins to follow the same quiet rhythm. Nothing tells you to slow down. Nothing asks you to stay. Yet, for the first time in a long while, leaving doesn't feel important anymore. The light returns, then it's calm. The waves arrive, then quietly slip away. The wind finds your face, then disappears into the night. Nothing stays, nothing resists, nothing hurries. You begin to notice not the sea, not the wind, not the lighthouse, the space between them, the pause before another wave reaches the shore, the silence before the light finds the water again, the stillness before your next breath. Without meaning to, you begin waiting for those quiet spaces. And somewhere between the waves, the wind, and the turning light, the day slowly loosens its grip. Not all at once, just enough for the night to hold whatever is left. You stay where you are, not waiting, not thinking about leaving, just listening. A wave reaches the shore and disappears. Another follows, never rushing the one before it. The light returns, crossing the sea, touching the rocks, finding the path for a single quiet moment before moving on. The night never seems to hold on to anything. Not the waves, not the wind, not even the light. Everything arrives, everything leaves. Your next breath comes a little deeper. The sea keeps its rhythm. The lighthouse keeps its slow circle. The night unfolds, one quiet moment at a time. Somewhere, without asking your attention, something inside you begins to soften. The tide reaches a little further now, just enough to smooth the sand before slipping quietly back into the sea. You watch it happen, again, then again. The sea never touches the shore in quite the same way twice. The water erases its own footprints, only to draw them again. Never the same, never trying to be. The lighthouse keeps its quiet rhythm. One slow turn, a breath of darkness, then light again. Again, then again. After a while, you stop expecting it. You simply let it come and let it leave. The sea keeps breathing. The wind wanders through the grass. Somewhere behind you, the rest of the world continues without asking, where you gone? Out here, only the waves seem interested in keeping time, and even they never seem to be in a hurry. You continue along the shoreline, not far, just far enough to hear the waves from a different place. Wild grass leans across the path, brushing softly against your hands as you pass. A weathered bench waits above the rocks. Its wood has faded beneath years of sun, wind, and salt. You rest your hand on its back. The wood feels cool, smooth in some places, rough in others. You sit. The bench answers with a quiet creak, then settles into silence. Another slow turn of the lighthouse. Its light reaches the bench, just for a moment. The grain of wood becomes alive. Tiny cracks, faded lines, small marks left by countless seasons. Then darkness again. Your hand brushes across the old wood. You almost missed it. A few letters carved so deeply that time couldn't quite erase them. The beginning is gone, so is the end. Only a few words remain. Sit a while. You read them once, then again. The bench offers nothing more. No signature, no date. Just those unfinished words left behind by someone you'll never know. The light turns. The waves continue their endless conversation with the shore. The wind lifts, then settles again. The missing words don't seem missing anymore. They leave room for your own. You rest your hand on the bench once more. The carved letters feel smooth now, rounded by rain, salt, and countless quiet nights. The sea says nothing. The bench says nothing more. Nothing else seems eager to speak. You lean back. The old wood answers with another quiet creak, then falls silent. The sea keeps breathing. The lighthouse keeps turning. Everything continues, whether anyone is watching or not. You smile, just enough to feel it. The weight of the day doesn't disappear. It simply loosens for a little while. A single seabird glides above the shoreline. It rides with the wind without effort, without hurry. You follow it until it becomes part of the night. Only the sea remains. You leave the bench behind. The unfinished words remain with it. Sit a while. You don't look back. The path carries them now. The gravel answers beneath your feet, a quiet sound, almost lost beneath the waves. The bench grows smaller behind you. Soon, it is only another shape beside the path. The lighthouse turns. The sea stays close. Sometimes hidden below the cliffs. Sometimes opening wide beside you. A faint mist begins to gather over the water. So light, it almost seems to breathe. The lighthouse finds it. For a moment, the beam becomes visible, not the light itself, its journey. You watch it drift through the mist, slowly, patiently, then disappear, only to begin again. The sound of wave changes, pebbles instead of sand. Each wave returns with a quiet chorus. Thousands of tiny stones rolling gently over one another. The sound lasts only a few seconds. Then the sea gathers them back. You wait for it again. Not the wave, the sound. When it comes, you close your eyes. Just long enough to hear every stone finding its place again. When you open your eyes, the shoreline is empty. Or so it seems. Something moves at the edge of the grass. Small, quiet. A rabbit. It steps onto the path and stops. Its ears lift. The lighthouse reaches the hillside. For one brief moment, its fur catches the light. Silver. Then darkness. The rabbit doesn't move. Neither do you. Another slow turn. The light returns. The rabbit is still there. Calm. Unhurried. As though the night belongs to both of you. A breeze crosses the path. The grass bends. The rabbit takes 2 gentle steps, slips back into the darkness, and is gone. The waves continue. The wind continues. The lighthouse keeps turning. Nothing asks to be explained. You continue along the path. The night keeps its little mysteries. The sea follows beside you, sometimes close, sometimes hidden beyond the rocks. The wind carries the scent of salt, then pine, then nothing at all. The trail rises gently, without noticing your steps have become quieter. The gravel still answers, only softer now. The lighthouse turns behind you. You don't look every time its light passes. You know it's there. The path opens for a moment. The coastline stretches into the darkness. Far below, another wave reaches the shore. Then another. another. The sound arrives slowly, as though the night itself has nowhere else to be. You stop, not for long, just long enough to hear the sea without your footsteps beside it. The silence feels different now, not larger, closer. You breathe in cool air, salt, pine, the quiet between them. Another slow sweep of light. The cliffs appear, then fade. The grass glows silver, then disappears again. The night never tries to keep the light. The light never tries to keep the night. Both arrive, both leave. You continue walking. One step, then another. The path asks nothing of you. The sea asks nothing of you. The wind asks nothing of you. Somewhere ahead, the trees begin to gather around the trail. The lighthouse appears one last time between their branches. One slow turn, one quiet sweep across the water. Then the forest gently keeps it from view. You don't stop. The sound of sea grows softer. The scent of pine grows stronger. The night walks beside you just as quietly as before. One last breath. One last step. You pause. Only for a moment. The sea stretches into the darkness. The horizon has disappeared. Sea, sky, distance. They've become part of the same quiet place. You don't search for the light. You don't wait for it. You simply stand long enough to feel the night breathing around you. Another wave reaches the shore. Another breath. Somewhere beyond the trees, the lighthouse completes another slow turn. You never see it. You don't need to. The waves remain behind you. The wind keeps moving through the grass. The sea keeps breathing. And somewhere beyond the trees,